welcome to Stew Videos. Recently, I've seen a lot of this kind of stuff going on the internet. Now, I know that a lot of this is done with no harm in mind, and that people don't really know what they're getting into. Often the people who make these jokes and memes think that they're making fun of the censoring feminazis who are triggered so easily by other people's opinions. Well, let me tell you something. These people don't really exist. When I say that, I mean, they do technically exist, but they're in such a small minority that you needn't pay attention to them. Often these people are brought into the spotlight by the media and people who are trying to push socially right-wing agendas. This is because in the case of the media, it generates controversy, and by and large more clicks. The headline, "Silly woman wants to censor the free speech of men," would generate a lot more money than the headline, "Calm person has nuanced opinions backed by evidence." And in the case of the YouTubers and people in general who are pushing the socially right-wing agendas, it just strengthens their points to bring these people into the limelight. Okay, so I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the issue. Opposition to trigger warnings, when you're informed about what trigger warnings are, is ableism. Ableism is the discrimination based on disabilities. The reason that there is a push for trigger warnings recently is due to the fact that often sensitive topics can cause emotional stress for those suffering with mental illnesses, such as post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, imagine if a woman was raped. That is a very high level of emotional trauma right there. It's not something that is particularly easy to shake off. Now, imagine if that woman was a law student, and in a law class the professor is going to detail a rape case. Often looking at such cases in an academic environment involve looking at evidence, reading transcripts of witness accounts, and many other graphic and sensitive things. The student who was raped in our case is a very severe case of PTSD because that was a very significant trauma they underwent. And looking at this evidence unexpectedly might be able to induce a panic attack, for example, and here are the symptoms of a panic attack. During a panic attack, you may be afraid of dying or afraid of losing control of yourself. It may seem like things happening around you aren't real. An attack usually lasts from 5 to 20 minutes, but may last even longer, up to a few hours. You have the most anxiety about 10 minutes after the attack starts. You have physical symptoms, including chest pain, a faster pounding heartbeat, difficulty breathing, dizziness, shaking or trembling, stomach pain or nausea, sweating, chills or hot flashes, feeling like you're choking. Now, these symptoms don't really sound pleasant, do they? So is it really that much of an effort for a professor to take 2 seconds before diving into the case to say, "Hello class, today we will be dealing in great detail with the sensitive topic of rape." Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Often it's not even so the PTSD patient can leave the lecture, it's just so they can prepare themselves for the topic which can reduce emotional stress. The other argument I hear here is that no trigger warnings are anywhere else in real life, and that you need to prepare yourself for the real world. Well, let me show you these. These were all trigger warnings. They're there to discourage people from seeing the wrong content. You may have ignored them before when you've seen them, as you've had no trouble with the issues, but they are there for a reason after all. The fact is that trigger warnings are not harmful to anybody. They do not hurt free speech or emotional expression. They're simply a way of helping people deal with sensitive issues that may worsen their mental illnesses. Not some SJW conspiracy to silence white guys, just a necessary protection measure.